CEO. Okay, so there's that. And so sometimes most entrepreneurs, most is wired for. Well, hey, my friends, welcome back to the podcast. I'm going to do a little more of a techie podcast episode today. And by techie, I mean truly techie. We're going to talk about Team Allwood's favorite business tools today on the podcast. And I laugh because if you have followed me for any length of time on social media, you know that I am not incredibly techie. You know that I still use a dinosaur day planner. That's right. I still write everything down. I don't like doing the calendar on my phone because what if I drop my phone in the toilet? And I don't know. And I know it's in the cloud-ish. It's somewhere, but I just am not incredibly techie. So I'm going to give you the tools that the team loves and a couple of them that I have adapted. Is it adopted? Is it adapted? Either way that I'm currently using. And if you are not a techie person, such as myself, you're still going to like this episode because I'm going to tell you how to use some things in a way that will be helpful to you, even when your brain prefers, just to be creative and not use tech. Okay. So, let's talk about 5 of Team Allwood's favorite business tools that we're using. Okay. The first one is Google Workspace. So I literally remember when my team came to me, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and they're like, Jen, we need to move over to Google Workspace, to which of course I'm like, what is that? And I didn't want to. I'm pretty sure that I was still using Microsoft Outlook, no lie, for email. And essentially, it didn't take a whole lot of convincing because at that point I knew that I had people on my team who were both younger than me in age, but also just way more techie than I am. And I just needed to really depend on their suggestions and allow them to use something that would be better for our team in terms of productivity and how we communicate. Okay. So Google Workspace is like $6 a month to get a professional email. If you are someone who's in business and you're still using like, Jennifer at, I don't know, pretty girl 1847 at yahoo.com or something like that is not good enough in the year 2023. It just is not. When people get an email from you, they want the email to come across as professional. I mean, if you think about just when you get emails, if you think about your own habits, like you want to get emails from people who appear to have a lot of people on their email list, who appear to email regularly, who come off as professional, right? So no more of like, J Allwood 1549 at Comcast, .us, like that just doesn't cut it. So use Google Workspace, spend the $6 a month to get a professional email. Here's how I need for you to think of expenses like this. If you were to drive to a day job, okay, and maybe some of you you're driving to a day job right now as you listen to me, but if you were to drive to a day job, there's going to be expenses for that also, right? You've got the wear and tear on your vehicle. You've got the cost of parking once you get downtown. You've got the cost of gas in your car. You've got the cost of insurance for your vehicle. So there are costs that are going to happen when you run your own business too. I will never understand why people think, well, I want to run my own business, but I don't want to pay anything out. It just doesn't work that way. There are tools and things that you need to be more efficient and to be more professional. And something like Google Workspace at $6 a month is one of those. Okay. So Google Workspace is also really great for like collaborating with your team or with a virtual assistant, especially if you're using like virtual assistants, like what we have here at Team Allwood, Business Assist Agency, but you can add multiple accounts in one Google Workspace. So you can store PDFs there. You can store downloadable freebies on your drive. This is where you use Google Docs and to-do lists. I get a to-do list every single day for my team. Well, Monday through Thursday, because I don't work on Fridays, but Monday through Thursday, I get a to-do list, and it's something that is a Google Doc that all of them like collaborate on, if that makes sense. We use Google Workspace for the work calendar to track our launches, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So listen, get yourself Google Workspace. That is like a for sure. Okay. Second tool I want to tell you about is Canva. Now, in full transparency, I am no longer doing anything on Canva. My team does everything on Canva. It's not me, okay? But Canva is such a great tool, especially for those of you who are creatives, all right? You can learn on the free version. And then if you want, you could upgrade to the pro version for like 13 bucks a month. Okay. So Canva has thousands of professional templates. It's like a drag and drop builder. So for those of you who are needing like a new Facebook cover photo and you need to like make something prettier than just, a picture off of your iPhone, Canva is great for this. We use Canva on our team for like 95% of our graphic design. So if you were to go to like jenniferallwood.com/devotional, that is an opt-in of mine. And then you would give me, your email or whatever, but those graphics were made in Canva, what you see there. So you can design an ebook in Canva. You can make graphics for your website in Canva. You can do like shareable quotes, memes that you want to put on social media in Canva. You can do like your YouTube thumbnail graphics. And hopefully some of you are watching this on YouTube right now because Easton Allwood has resuscitated our YouTube channel. I'm so excited. You can make pins for Pinterest. Those of you that are using Pinterest for business, if you're not, you should be. Logos, brand guides, all of those things. We even did a Canva training in my mastermind just real recently, just specifically for the ladies that are in the mastermind, just giving them lots of different ideas and tips and tricks on how they can use Canva. So Canva is our number 2 suggestion of favorite business tools that Team Allwood uses and that we think you should use as well. So number 3 tool is ChatGPT. Okay, so listen. I did an entire podcast episode on ChatGPT, I think not once, but twice. And the fact of the matter is that there are people that are concerned about AI, and understandably so, but they're thinking because they're concerned about AI that they don't want to use tools such as ChatGPT. And what I would love to just encourage some of you with is this. ChatGPT is just a tool that can help you to brainstorm. It can help you to work smarter, not harder. It can help you to just have a launching pad. And if you're listening to me and you're like, okay, Jen, I did not hear that original podcast on ChatGPT. What is it? So ChatGPT, ChatGPT, .ai is where you would go to, is a place where you are able to basically give commands for this software to write something for you. So it could be write a review that is 300 words long for this book that I just read. And then you would type that in and ChatGPT literally like types something out. And then you could use that and you could just use it as a launching pad. You can tweak it, you can shift it, whatever. The first time I ever used ChatGPT was back before the Super Bowl. So back before January, February, when I was wanting to do a post on my Instagram account, Bougie in the Desert, for our house that was, really close to the Super Bowl. And I asked ChatGPT to write me a post to get my Airbnb rented for the Super Bowl in Arizona. And it writes it in a matter of seconds. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer. And of course I tweaked it. I Jenniferized it so it would sound like me, but it is a really good tool. Okay. It's a tool. And so I just encourage you guys to use the tools that are going to help you to work smarter and not harder. We actually have a complete freebie like ChatGPT starter guide. If you want to go to jenniferallwood.com/ChatGPT. It's just a starter guide that you can use and it'll give you some ideas on how you can use it. And so that is a third tool that our team is using. Number 4, Voxer. Okay. So if you are in my mastermind, you already know all about Voxer and hopefully you love it as much as we do. We use Voxer every day here at Team Allwood. So Voxer is a free app that you download onto your phone and it's basically a walkie-talkie. If you're somebody who uses like Marco Polo, I want you to imagine Marco Polo with no visual. If you're somebody who likes to leave audio messages back and forth with your friends on your iPhone, I want you to imagine that, but easier. Okay. So you can download Voxer. And essentially I just leave a Voxer message for individuals or for an entire group. So if I open up my Voxer app right now, I have at the very top, I have a Voxer thread. It's called Threads for myself, Nell and Mackenzie. I have a Voxer thread for my assistant, Kelly. I have one for my friends, Adrian and Carrie. The next one is the entire mastermind. Then our team has a Voxer thread only to talk about social media. We have another one only to talk about the podcast. We have another one only to talk about the mastermind. We have another one that's called banter. That is just for fun. So our team can talk back and forth. So listen, the cool thing about Voxer is that you can listen, speed it up. So I listen to the majority of my Voxers at 2 times the speed. So imagine like you're listening to a book on Audible, you know how you can like make it go faster, or even make it go slower, but I like to listen to mine on 2 times. Now, Nell is smart enough that her brain can do 3 or 4 times. I cannot do that. So 2 times is about all I can do, but you can send GIFs, you can send text. If you want to type stuff out, you don't have to do it all audible. You can send links, you can send pictures. But it's so easy to communicate in Voxer because you can understand each other without like missing out on tone. I talk much faster than I type, so I love that. The Voxer is where in my mastermind, we do the majority of our one-on-one like consultation. So, you know, we've got 50 women in the mastermind. And so we have a private Voxer thread with each of those women where if they want to talk about, hey, I'm getting ready to launch my membership group this week. I'm really, you know, nervous about it and I could use some coaching just on how to get my mind straight. That's where I give them some feedback. If they're like, hey, I'm getting ready to launch my course this week. I'm still debating on the price. Do you think I should have priced it at $497 or $597? That's where we give them feedback. So listen, Voxer is perfect if you have a team. It's also perfect if you have a VA. It's also perfect for you and your clients. So Voxer is tool number 4 that we suggest. And the last but not least is Asana. Now listen, let me just give full transparency here. I do not use Asana. I don't. I remember when my team started using this years ago. It is a project management tool, by the way. It's an app that where you manage projects. And I remember when my team came to me and they're like, hey, we want to start using Asana. And I was like, okay, great. And they're like, and here's how you get on. And it just like, I look at it and my mind, it's like I'm looking at Japanese writing. You guys, my brain does not comprehend Asana. Okay. So I, after about a week, came to my team and I'm like, you know what? You guys use Asana to the glory of God. This girl right here is going to prefer all communication stay on Voxer for me and my team. And so it's not because I'm a diva. I'm telling you guys, my brain just doesn't work like that. And so, but the majority of you, now listen, lean into this, to what I'm about to say and pay attention. Okay. A lot of you very creative minded CEOs and entrepreneurs. And by the way, can we just start referring to yourself as such? Even if you are a one-man band, you are still the entrepreneur of your business and you are still the CEO. Okay, so there's that. And so sometimes we just need to recognize what it is that we are. Most entrepreneurs, most CEOs, most people who begin a business have a very creative brain. A lot of you are not wired to enjoy something like Asana, just like me. And if you've been thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, something's wrong with me, let me just give you complete, like just a deep breath where you can exhale. There is nothing wrong with you. Your brain is wired for dreaming and putting things together in a different way. In addition, you are very visual. This is why you love color. This is why you love decorating. This is why you like looking at pretty things. This is why you enjoy looking at Pinterest, because it's visually stimulating. And so when you look sometimes at an app like Asana, it's like the opposite of visually stimulating. And you're thinking to yourself, something must be wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. Your brain does not comprehend something like Asana, and that is fine. So I just would like to say that I personally do not like Asana. I don't use Asana, but my team uses it every day. This is how they set goals, manage products, collaborate, communicate. It's kind of like their to-do list on steroids, if you will. Okay. So I asked my team, I'm like, give me an example that I can give the podcast people on how they're using Asana. So we have a podcast list in Asana, and my whole marketing team and our son Easton, because he does the podcast on YouTube now. This is where they have all of their information about our podcast. This is where they set deadlines for when Jen needs to get things recorded. This is where they assign different tasks to different people because we have one person edit, we have one person upload, Easton's doing the YouTube. Does that make sense? This is where we also like manage, or not by we, I mean they. By we, I mean not me. But this is where they project manage like launches so that we have all the steps in there so that we can rinse and repeat the next time. This is where they assign due dates and tasks and all those things. Okay. So I love lists in my dinosaur planner. I do not love lists in Asana. But some of you may have a VA that loves Asana and it makes sense to your brain. Use it. You may have a team that loves Asana, as do you. So use it. My team loves Asana. And so this is one that I just stay out of, but wanted to mention for those of you whose brains can handle it. So was that helpful today? I hope that that was helpful today. In a recap, we had Google Workspace, a must, Canva, a must, ChatGPT, a should, if you're smart, use it. It'll help you to work smarter, not harder. Voxer, yes, Voxer, love it. And Asana, want, but my team loves it. All right, guys, I hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, and you follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. Let me know you listen to this. Let me know if you use any of those tools. Let me know if you wish that you were enjoying them like I do, etc. So as always, appreciate you so much for being here. If you're someone who listens to me, even though you don't have a business, but you know somebody who does, forward this podcast episode onto them. It may be a blessing to them. They may learn something that they previously didn't know. Love y'all so much. Talk soon. Bye-bye. Text Easton, done.